Corey Taylor.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm very well, man. We're super excited to be chatting with you, dude. A lot going on in your universe right now. What's up? Where you at? What's going on, man?
I'm at home right now. Like I'm homebodying like crazy, man. I'm hanging out with my son. His birthday is about a week. He turns 12, so I'm just hanging out in Iowa, doing dad stuff, doing dishes, laundry, the exciting life of a rock star, as it were.
No, This is great, and I'm super glad we're starting off the interview this way because, Corey, I have a daughter. She's 6 months old, right? I'm a 31-year-old guy, and Chow over here, he's 25. He gives me crap all the time about being a dad and how it probably sucks and all this stuff. And one time I told him, I'm like, dude, this is going to end the whole entire argument. James Hetfield, Dave Grohl, Corey Taylor all have kids. What's up?
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's the best thing on the planet. It'll drive you nuts. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there are times I want to throw my kid in the street, but, and that's true, and that's just being real. I mean, but at the same time, it's one of he's the best thing I've ever done. Let's put it that way. And it's a whole new ball game, man. You ever want to figure out who you are as a person? Have a kid.
Yeah.
That's the truest statement on the planet.
Man, that's kind of intriguing. I don't know if I want to dive into that world yet, but I'll keep that in mind, man. Now,
well, and trust me, man, I tell people this all the time. If you're not ready to have kids, don't. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like, okay, we're going to plan it and do this and do that or whatever. Because half the kids on this planet are unplanned. But if you instinctually know that you can't give that kind of unconditional love to a child, especially your own blood, don't do it.
Yeah,
that's because you'll ruin that kid. And luckily, I mean, I wanted to be a dad my whole life. Just because I grew up without that kind of foundation, and I knew that when I had kids, I was going to do it completely the opposite direction. So I love being a dad, but if you're not ready to, man, you don't want. That's a mirror that you're not going to want to look into.
Man, therapy with Corey Taylor. This has been great.
Tell me what else is bothering you. Now less than the hour.
I'll tell you one thing that's bothering me. You mentioned that you were at home, doing the whole Iowa thing right now. We are huge wrestling fans up here. So last week I'm checking out Raw, and I see right behind Jerry Lawler, holy crap, there's Corey Taylor. And what bothered me is that they didn't give you the shout out, man.
That would have been cool. I mean, it would have been cool for me as a wrestling fan to kind of get that kind of pop on Raw, but at the same time, I was only there. I mean, first of all, I'm friends with Chris Jericho, so he hooked me up with the tickets. Wasn't expecting to be behind the announcer's table. I was not expecting that much camera time. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And that was a gift to my son because he was sitting right next to me. I don't know if you saw the little kid with the blonde hair and the glasses. That's my boy Griffin, and he lost his mind because he didn't know we were going. So it was like an early birthday present for him. So even if they would have said something, I probably would have played it down because that night wasn't about me. That was about him having an absolute blast. So much so that I actually moved out of the way to put him more in front so he could tell all of his friends that he got to be on TV that night.
Yeah. That's awesome. I was hoping that you guys would set up the Chris Jericho, Corey Taylor WrestleMania match that night. But what was it meant to be?
The super handicap match. The only way I could pull off a match with Jericho is if he was handcuffed and then shackled, and then you put a hood on him so he can't see, dude. There's no way I would be able to hold my own in the ring with him. He's the man, dude. He was one of my favorite wrestlers before I knew him. And then knowing him now, he's just, dude, he gets my pop every time.
Yeah, and I can't wait for that match, super handicapped, and then you still have a tag team partner,
Yeah, exactly. I still need help. I still need somebody to work the match for me because I probably have the wrestling skills of Jay Leno. I don't know if you guys remember that match.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
We held that arm bar on Hogan for about 20 minutes so they could get all the photos in. I was like, this is pathetic.
Man, I could talk about wrestling all day, but we better get to the important stuff. We better talk about Slipknot being out there doing their thing once again. Want to get to the new album here in just a little bit, but one thing we're excited about is we're going to go check you guys out in Sioux Falls on November 9th. Talk about a huge tour. Korn, King 810 bringing their ultra-violent sound to it.
Yeah.
Do you guys get excited to play those Sioux Falls shows?
Oh, yeah, man. You know, because, I mean, I look at Sioux Falls as, you know, the northern part of the Midwest, really. You know, I mean, we're all kind of in the same middle of the country boat, really. You know, so you know, it's kind of like Des Moines. You know, not a lot of great shows come through, but when they do, they're off the hook. You know, so when we were putting this together, we knew we were only going to hit a handful of markets this time around, and you know, we were like, you know what, we need to give, you know, a lot of love to the middle of the country. You know, I mean, they're the ones that kind of put us where we are. So we need to put as much love in there as possible. So, you know, Sioux Falls, I can remember some great shows up there with both bands, to be honest. And you know, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool because it's at a brand new arena, too, that isn't even open yet, which is kind of unbelievable considering that show is just in a couple months. So it's going to be pretty sick, man.
Great. We're gonna peel the plastic off this place. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I don't know either, but
we're gonna move in, and it's gonna be like, all right, the toilets don't work. Somebody should probably fix that.
And there's blood on the floor, and it's stained now. It's gonna be,
you know, hey, then we baptized it. You know how it is.
Yeah. Now the new album you guys got coming out. Very excited about the stuff we've heard so far. I mean, it totally different process, I assume, going into it this time around. Was it more stressful, or like, did you guys feel free just to kind of do whatever you wanted to?
Well, you know, the great thing about this band is we've never put shackles on ourselves creatively. You know, if we're feeling one way, we go that way. If we're not, then we tend to go in the opposite direction. It's one of the reasons why we took so long to actually start thinking about doing a new album, because we weren't going to do it until we were ready. You know, as far as pressure, you know, we've never had a lot of pressure. You know, because we approach it that way. We're like, we're going to do what we want. If nobody listens to it, that's fine, but we fulfilled something inside of ourselves, you know? So it was really, it was more emotional than it was stressful, to be honest. Because, you know, kind of filling in the shoes of Paul especially was heavy duty, you know? He was such an integral part of the songwriting process and had such a great ear for it. We knew that we were all going to have to step in and fill those shoes in. And I thought we did a great job. You know, Jim came up with some killer stuff. I brought in some stuff. Clown really, you know, he brought in some really killer atmospheric stuff that we were able to build into some great music. And you know, I think we all really stepped up to the challenge. You know, and I think it was because we wanted to. You know, it wasn't because we felt we had to. It was like we felt we wanted to. We wanted to be able to do that and really kind of, you know, make new music at this band again. So it wasn't so much stressful as it was powerful, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And the first two tracks you guys have put out so far, it's like far exceeded my expectations. I don't really even know what I was expecting, but when we heard the negative one for the first time, I was like, whoa, this is exactly what we wanted to hear. We were in Sturgis, South Dakota at the bike rally at the time, and we felt like, you know, President of God listening to that track. We
became the president of Hell's Angels the moment we heard that.
Oh, nice. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That tune especially was our gift. You know, we were like, you know, we know people have been waiting a long time for this, so we're just going to put this out and just give it to the fans, you know?
Yeah. So on the upcoming tour, can the fans expect to hear a lot of stuff off the new album, or are you going to spread it out? What's that going to look like?
We're going to spread it out a little bit, you know, because, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of tunes that people want to hear from the old stuff. And then, you know, but at the same time, we've always tried to balance the old with the new. So I think we're going to, you know, do our best to get a good dose in there. Not just the singles like some people do, but you know, some of the tunes that we wrote. As soon as we wrote them, we were like, this is going to be an insane live track, you know, and you get excited for that stuff, you know. So the cool thing is that we're putting together basically a super long set, so we can kind of pick and choose and mix and match, you know. So not every show will be the same, and I think that's the way you keep it exciting, and you keep people coming back going, oh, man, I can't believe they played this one. What are they going to play next time, you know?
Yeah, I like the unpredictability factor there. And speaking of the live shows here, we hit up the Knot Fest show in Somerset, Wisconsin a couple years ago, made the trek over there. Was super excited. It still was one of the funnest days I've ever had in my life. But Gunner, sitting across from me over here, partied so hard that day that he actually missed Slipknot at the end of the night because he passed out. Now, this is perfect because I want you to tell Gunner exactly what the hell he missed that night, because that was an amazing evening of music.
Well, I mean, unless you were there, there's no way to really describe it. It was a hell of a night. And I will say, dude, you're not the only one. I have a good friend of mine named Robbie who had a few many martinis, if you understand the neck.
Oh yeah.
And, he ended up passed out basically in a mud puddle and missed like the second half of the show. He had his shirt ripped open and it looked like a vest with sleeves. And dude, it was brutal. I was like, "What in the hell happened to you?" And he was like, "Well, you know." I'm like, "No, I don't, dude. Really. I mean, I don't think I've ever been that wasted that I missed the headliners, man. What's going on?" And he was just like, "I don't want to talk about it." So you missed some explosions. You missed some great rock. You missed some you missed the get down part and spit it out, which is always a classic. You just missed a great show, so shame on you.
I know. Corey, I do feel like a bitch because of it, not going to lie. But in my defense, it was a great day, super party, and I was able to catch Slipknot back in '99 and have a new metal Slipknot windbreaker jacket. So
yeah, I was going to say, Breaker was probably like 10.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, really quick while we have you, because I feel like you'll be an expert on this topic. Over the summer, this past summer, Chow and myself, we bought jean vests. And we've been wearing jean vests around to like Sturgis and different musical festivals. Are jean vests with patches cool?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I guess. I'll say yes. Just because I can't think of any other word to say.
Okay.
Really. I mean, a good jean vest is pretty decent. Because the cool thing is you can wear it by yourself, or you throw it over the top of the leather. So I mean, you can kind of, it's versatile. It's like those weird scarves that chicks wear that you can wear as like a head wrap, or you wear it as some kind of weird Doctor Who thing. Sure, yeah. Jean vests with patches are cool.
So it's cool enough.
What patches do you have on them though?
I have a Machine Head back patch right now, which is okay.
Decent.
Chow bought his at Hot Topic, so it has a Hot Topic skull on the back.
Chow.
Come on, back
really,
off.
Dude. Really?
It was on sale.
Really? That's no excuse. Come on.
All right.
So it's cool enough, but you're not going to join in.
I've got one. I very rarely wear it, but I've got one. What color are they? Are they the blue jeans or are they the black jean jackets?
Mine's a blue one.
Yeah, mine's blue as well.
Yeah, they're blue.
Okay. Is it the deepest of blues?
I think Chow's is. Mine might be a little too light. I don't know.
yeah, it's a light blue.
I was going to say, if yours is like stonewashed or something, we're going to have to talk, because you obviously lifted that from somebody who saw too many Def Leppard shows.
Yeah.
Nothing against Def Leppard. That's all I'm going to say. I love that band. I
was already bitched out when you said that it reminds you of those weird scarves chicks wear. Might be time to reassess the jean vest situation.
Yeah. Well, I was just relating it to the versatility, if you will. Guys don't get enough credit for their versatility.
They don't. Well, Corey, man, we really appreciate the time you're giving us today. We can't wait to see you down in Sioux Falls. We're up here in Fargo. It looks like it's about to turn to winter up here, early as it does every year. So is there anything you want to say to all the Fargo maggots up here?
We're looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully you enjoy the show. And don't forget to plug in your engines this winter, because that car won't start if you don't.
Stream us live now at Q105.1ROCKS.com or on your iPhone or Android. Q105.1 rocks the internet.